Have you heard of the enchanted Hoodsport Washington? It truly is one of those places that embodies the term hidden gem. It is tucked between the majestic Olympic Mountains and the sparkling waters of Hood Canal. Whether you're considering making Hoodsport your year-round home, the perfect getaway, or just a little curious, today I'm going to take you on a virtual tour and we'll just explore the natural beauty, the local spots, and some amazing areas to call home. If this is your first time to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe and tap that bell icon for notifications. We're here to guide you through every step of buying, selling, and living in Western Washington. From expert advice to practical tips, we've got everything you need to make informed decisions. So join our community today and start your journey with confidence. I'm Brandy, and together with my husband and business partner, William, we are the WB Nobles real estate team. We love what we do, whether it's exploring the stunning neighborhoods of Western Washington or helping you find that perfect place to call home. So whether your move is just around the corner or still on the horizon, we're here to guide you every step of the way. All our contact details are right below, so don't hesitate to reach out. First of all, let's take a look at exactly where Hoodsport is. So we've got Hoodsport right here, and when we're zoomed in like this, it doesn't really give you a good feel of just how small it is, because see, as we zoom out, you can see, you get more of a feel of just how small Hoodsport really is. So Hoodsport, when we're talking about Hoodsport, we're really starting about like right here, and we're considering all the little cabins that are up the west side of Lake Cushman and the east side of Lake Cushman, and then really up to about like right here-ish. So the border between what we call Hoodsport and Lilywop is just a little bit fuzzy, but this is really the area that we consider and what we think of and what's in our mind's eye when we say Hoodsport. So now I wanted to talk a little bit about the drive to Hoodsport. So to get there from Seattle, you would really want to take the ferry from downtown Seattle over to Bremerton. And then from Bremerton, you would you'd get down here over to Highway 3, which runs along here. And then in Belfair, you're gonna hop off Highway 3. And I think this is like State Route 106 or something like that. And you would drive along the Hood Canal. It's a really gorgeous drive. And you drive through Union and come out right here in Skokomish. And then right here, you'd hop on the 101 and you're just like right there. And if you're coming from anywhere like south of Seattle, really the easiest way is because we live about right here in Normandy Park. So from the Normandy Park area, we'd hop onto I-5, and we're gonna hop off I-5 in Olympia and onto the 101. And once you get onto the 101 right here, it's really a gorgeous drive all the way up. The other option, if you really want to make it a little bit more of an adventure, you could get from anywhere in this area. You can go over to the Southworth Ferry, which is in West Seattle, and hop over to Southworth. And again, making your way over to Highway 3 and down around the Hoodsport area. We've done that trip lots of times. The kids love going on the ferry, but normally we usually do the I-5 all the way down and around because it's just straightforward and a bit quicker. What we've got going on in downtown Hoodsport. So the first thing, because whenever you're in the area, you inevitably forget something, and you need the Ace Hardware. So right in here, it's both Ace Hardware and the local market. And the local market is a grocery store that has pretty much everything that you need. It's got a great little like fresh food space where you can pop in, grab some picnic items, and head your way out to the park that's just right down the road from there. And that park is right here, right beside the dive shop. And the dive shop is one of the most popular dive shops around. It's been around forever. I know lots of people who've been frequenting there for a really long time. And also the port of Hoodsport's right here as well. And then heading north, you've got the Potlatch Brewing Company. I've been there a few times. I'm not a huge beer drinker, so it's not my go-to, but I've heard that their brews are really delicious. You're gonna get a lot of local brews here, and the snacks were pretty great the last time I was there. Now, our favorite place, and we've mentioned this before in one of our previous videos about Hoodsport, is the Hoodsport Coffee Company. They've got all kinds of stuff in there, but really the secret is the ice cream. They have Olympic Mountain ice cream, and it is so delicious. And the other thing that we get when we are in downtown is a cute little art and gift shop, and it's right here. And in there you can buy local art, you can get some really neat little unique gifts and some souvenirs if you're out on vacation. A couple other places to note is the Model T Pub and Eatery. We haven't been there yet, but I keep hearing that it's delicious. Keep being told we need to go. There's also a teriyaki and burger place that we've heard is really good as well. And then if you venture out a little bit from the downtown area, you've also got the Honey Bee Pizzeria. It's the cutest place. It's probably about a 10-minute drive north of downtown Hoodsport. And they've got really great wings and pizza, and their dipping sauces are pretty amazing. And this RV park is pretty neat. We stayed there a couple times with our camping trailer, and waking up to the views of Hood Canal was just breathtaking. It was so awesome. So now that you have a good feel of what's in Lake Hoodsport proper for their little downtown area and what kind of amenities that you can find, if you're looking for something that you can't find in that area, Shelton is not very far at all. And so I wanted to take a look at what that drive looks like. It's about 20 minutes. You hop on the Highway 101 here, and it's right there. So in Shelton, you're gonna get Walmart, Fred Meyer, multiple gas stations, all kinds of services, as well as quite a few really good restaurants. We've explored the area a bit, and it's really great that it's only 20 minutes down the road, and you still get to, you can hop over there and have the access to all the urban amenities, and then 20 minutes back and you are back in paradise. It's pretty great. So the other thing I wanted to explore is the Hood Canal, because the Hood Canal is part of what makes Hoodsport so amazing. And it's such a popular spot for water sports and fishing. It's one of the most popular areas for shell fishing and crabbing. So the Hood Canal is ocean water that comes in through here, and the Hood Canal reaches all the way down and then kind of hooks up into Belfair. So Belfair is at the tip of the Hood Canal there. So when you're in Hoodsport, you're not far from a lot of really cool things on the Hood Canal. And it's one of the reasons why Hoodsport is such a popular area. So if you like to dive, there's some really great diving in just north of Hoodsport, as well as right there in Hoodsport. One of the dive places that I've heard a lot about is Sund Rock Dive Site. Sund family had a homestead there before we even officially became Washington State. And they've really established a pretty neat operation there where you can go and stay and do some diving. So if you're into diving, those are some of the places. The other thing that you can access is Alderbrook resort and spa. It's really beautiful. It's right on the water, right on Hood Canal. They've got a great restaurant and a beautiful spa area with lots of services. It's a really luxurious place to stay on Hoodsport. And we've also got another campsite and trailer parking, like camping trailer parking here at the Potlatch State Park, as well as another resort that's pretty much in Hoodsport here is the Glen Air Resort. And so they have a bunch of cute little, kind of like a little hotel right here along the water, and it's super cute. We've driven by lots of times. I've always been pretty curious about it. There's a couple other spots too that are really cool all along the water here. I did want to point out that this company lets you rent a kayak and go crabbing. So you get all the supplies you need to take that kayak out on Hoodsport and go crabbing. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't tried it yet. It's definitely on my bucket list. So one of the really cool things about this area is you're right up against the Olympic National Park and the mountains there. If you're an outdoor enthusiast, this is your gateway to incredible hiking trails, breathtaking mountain views, and really endless possibility for exploring the wilderness. It's really awesome. So one of my very, very favorite hikes of all time is Mount Eleanor. And so you've got the lower trail here, and then you've got the upper trailhead here. And what's really cool is when you get up to the top, you have a really beautiful view, just 360, amazing view. And you can kind of see Seattle off in the distance. And on your way up, you get a really great view of Lake Cushman. It's pretty cool to be up there and seeing the lake looks so small from afar, and then when you're back down at the lake looking up and seeing the majestic mountain. It's one of my very favorite things about this area. I wanted to take a look at Google Earth now, because you can really get a good sense of being, like, just how much green is happening in the trees and how you are clearly out in nature here. As you can see, you really are, this is Lake Cushman right here, and you really are nestled in Hoodsport. You really are nestled right at the base of the Olympic Mountains. So here's the Olympic National Park and the Olympic Mountains. Really is my favorite place about living in Washington. I've been to the Olympic hot springs. It's really fun to soak in natural hot mineral baths right there in the mountains, in the trees. There's fat little birds that come down and beg for your food and your snacks. Super cute. I've got a lot of friends who have done a lot of backpacking all through the Olympic National Park. From Hoodsport, you come up Lake Cushman here, and you have access to Mount Eleanor, as well as Mount Washington, and all kinds of hikes all through this area. Some of them are super easy, where you can just take a leisurely walk, and others, like Mount Eleanor, definitely are not for the inexperienced. And I say that because the first time I ever hiked Mount Eleanor, I was very inexperienced, and I definitely thought I might die. But then when I made it to the top, I was like, wow, this is the most beautiful thing ever. And it really was actually the start of my passion for hiking. So one of the other things that we have access to is Hamma Falls, which is pretty cool. Look at all this green. Look at all the mountains. I really just am in love, if you can't tell, with this area. Okay, so one last hike I wanted to highlight because, oh my gosh, we could talk about hikes all day in this area, clearly. But one of the hikes I did want to highlight is Obstruction Point Trailhead here. Well, it's the Obstruction Point hike. So it's one of the northernmost hikes in the Olympic National Forest, and I've heard a ton about it. And when I went to look it up the other day, I was just blown away by the beauty in this hike. Like, just look at this. I love the views from, oh my gosh, that is stunning. Like, just beautiful view of all the north end of the mountain range. And I think, if I remember correctly, there was a lake. Look at these views. I just love this so much. And I love being able to hike up to snow. Oh, and we've got some photos of some deer here. Oh, there. And look at this, it's beautiful glacier lake here. It's another one of my favorites when I go hiking. All right, back to Hoodsport. As you can tell, I love nature and I love to hike. So the other really cool thing about the area is that there's so much farmland out here too. And I never really realized it previously. I always thought of it as being like the road to go to the hikes or to the mountains, or, you know, stopping at one of the resorts that we've looked at. But really all of the area along this road right here, because you come off of 101, and this is the direction you go to get to the west side of Lake Cushman, is up through here. So you would actually come off of the main road. I don't know, I think it's somewhere like right in, oh wait, no, it's right here. And then you would go up the Forest Service roads, and they kind of wind up and around, and then you get to the west side of the lake. It's not very easily accessible, and so a lot of people kind of avoid purchasing property out on that side. But the hardcore, die-hard Lake Cushman folks will venture out there because it's just really beautiful. We actually own some property out there. We were inspired by some friends of ours. But I've gotten distracted. Let me get back to the point here. The point is that all along this road right here, like this, all of this area is farmland. And so it's really cool to drive through and see the cows and the goats and the horses and the farm stands where you can stop and buy flowers or fresh eggs. We also see that along this area too. So the Skokomish area is the Indian reservation. And so sometimes you'll see some of that farm products being sold along this area. So you've seen Lake Cushman so far along the way. It's clearly a big part of Hoodsport, and if you're looking for lakefront living, this is really an amazing, beautiful area with crystal clear waters. We really enjoy this area. We have heard over and over again just how magical this area is. You've got camping and paddle boarding and cabin rentals. It really is just an amazing area, and it's quite sought after especially for folks who want their second home, their vacation home. We recently stopped at the Lake Cushman lookout spot. It was a really great spot to stop and take some photos, maybe have a picnic. So the Lake Cushman area, like as you're coming from Hoodsport on the Highway 119, you come up and you start having access to all of these little neighborhoods in here. So there's the Lake Kokanee neighborhood, and then you've got, you can come off and go to all these cute little neighborhood areas. The Lake Kokanee area is pretty cool because you have access to Lake Kokanee, and you could come all the way up and come out into Lake Cushman. Here's another one. Lake Cushman Dam viewpoint's kind of cool. Like, it's weird because you kind of see all the like machinery and stuff from the dam, but it's also like a really cool view of Lake Cushman as well. And I've seen, the last time we stopped, there were a number of people there enjoying that view. The Lake Cushman Getaway. This is one of the spots that you can rent. And I just wanted to take a look at, well, that's not the funnest picture. Take a look at what you can rent out there on the Lake Cushman Getaway. So this is a fun spot. Look at this beautiful view of the lake. So this is just an example of one of the spots that you can rent. It's also a really good example of properties that are available in the area. Oh, look at this stunning view of Lake Cushman in the winter time. I haven't really been up there much in the winter because to get to the west side of the lake in the winter is nearly impossible. So here's that view from the dam I was talking about. So a couple more things just to wrap up this section about Lake Cushman is you've got a couple boat launches in the area, and so that's where, when you own on Lake Cushman, you have access to that boat launch. And so the majority of homes don't have their own boat launches in Lake Cushman, and so you would access the water from the boat ramp, which is the community boat launch there. And the other part that I wanted to mention in the Lake Cushman area is the Lake Cushman golf course right here. And we were just down there recently for a fundraiser, and it was a lot of fun. They've got lots of activities down there throughout the year, and it's a really beautiful area with, you know, views of the mountains. And so for those who want to be out in the woods at their vacation home and also be able to golf, you've got that going for you in this area. There's a couple more things that I wanted to highlight about the Cushman Hoodsport area, and that is that we have, not only do we have that brewery that I pointed out earlier, but there's also a winery and a couple wine tasting spots in downtown. And so if, you know, that's one of your go-to activities, then that is here for you right here. There's also, what do we call it? It's the Olympic Mountain Creamery. So that's where they make the ice cream. And so it's a little hidden spot, and not a lot of people know about it. You have to get off 101 and drive through all the farmlands along this road, and then you cut off that main road and go up the hill a little bit, and it's nestled back in some trees, and it's a creamery, and that's where they make the Olympic Mountain ice cream that is sold at the Hoodsport coffee shop that we love so much. And so it's really cool to find this creamery out in the middle of the woods, basically. So there you have it. That kind of wraps up Hoodsport. So whether you're looking for that out in the woods, remote location to relax and unwind, or you're sipping that glass of wine, enjoying local produce, Hoodsport really has something for everyone. And Hoodsport offers a wide variety of properties. If you're interested in checking out some of those, check out our Hoodsport tour around the city that we published a few weeks ago. From the calm waters of Hood Canal to the towering peaks of the Olympic National Park, Hoodsport is a town that truly has it all. So if you're interested in learning more about Hoodsport or seeing some of the homes that are available in the area, feel free to reach out. Thanks for joining me on this virtual tour of Hoodsport. If you want to explore other locations or have questions, leave us a comment below, shoot us a text, or schedule a chat. We'd love to help you find that perfect spot in Western Washington. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on an update. And until next time, explore, dream, and discover the best places to call home.